Very good afternoon and welcome to Racing International. We head down to the Eastern Cape. We're racing at Fairview on the turf track and we have 8 races on the card. Well, let's have a look at it there. There you go. Well, looks like very good conditions for racing today. Spurs out 7 metres when you swing for home, and that's certainly going to give you a decent chance running on from behind. Certainly will spread the horses right across the track. Penetrometer 22. And, well, I think it's great for great conditions. Now, we've been saying over the last couple of weeks up the straight of 1,000 and 1,200 metres, I've always preferred the outside draws, but they're telling me now, even right across the track, well, time will tell. Once you go around the turn, especially over the 14, it helps to have a decent draw. And one of the horses we tipped today is drawn out very wide with strong Cape Town form. Same can be out of the 16. Once you go over the 18, you've got plenty of time before you hit the top turn to find a decent position. All right, race 1 on the card is for the 2-year-olds, a juvenile plate over the 1,000 metres. Number 6, Alan Crere's very bullish about this. We've got Nadine Rapson down there. She's gone and had a chat to them, and they've come back and said they'll go pretty close here. Ran behind the stablemate in its last 2 runs, beaten by Oomph, well, by plenty. And after he won the East Cape Dahlia Plate the other day, Oomph was sold for, I believe, 5 million rand. He's looks like a champion in the future. He's moved to the Mike Azzy stable, I understand. Priced up at 28 to 10 in the stable, pretty confident there. Well, the number 1, Cornet Spiss, we've been tipping this to you, but it was very, very disappointing last time. It was examined by the vets after its last race and was very disappointing indeed. But come back, the finding was that it was normal, nothing wrong with it. So I'm going to give it another chance, included at 7 to 2. Now, number 10 could be a bit of a runner here from the Gavin Smith stable, Story of My Life. Blinkers go on today. JP van der Merwe jumps aboard. Now, it is drawn on the other side of the track, so we'll get a fair indication of this horse. It is drawn down the inside in barrier 3. Number 5, Rock DJ. Now, this could be on the up, this horse. Has only had the 2 runs so far. Got up to win by half a length last time, when backed into favourite at 22 to 10. And look for this one to show more improvement. Nicely bred individual. Race 2 on the card is another race up the straight of 1,000 metres. Juvenile plate for the fillies, and number 3, Leopard Orchid. That's where we're going with Andrew Fortune, one of my favourite jockeys, certainly a strong jockey, and he's riding for the Alan Crere stable. And I tell you what, Alan Crere's stable could be the one to follow today. Now, this has had the 3 runs and went on to win a very comfortably last time, having its 3rd career start, was well backed in the market, and won comfortably, winning by a length and 3/4. That was a good win, and I think there's more to come there. But I'm also putting in the Alan Crere other runner here. Number 1, Emmy Pot, is coming off a break of 70 days, won its first 2 outings, and then ran in the feature last time. Well, I wouldn't say disappointing, just found one a bit too good, showed pace, always up the handy, but that was over the 1,200. Now comes back to the 1,000 metres. Number 2, Lady Willow, Cornet Spiss. Young Murray jumps aboard. He doesn't claim anymore. This kid really can ride. Well, it had its first start last time and actually dead heated. It was firm in the market at 4 to 1. I'm expecting another good run there. Number 5, Candy Crush, 11 to 1. Lyle Hewitson only claims 1.5 now. It comes in with 53.5, and this kid can certainly ride. Also, well bred, this horse. Got a few big owners in here as well. Watch out, this one taking on its debut. Race 3 on the card is a maiden plate, and it's up the straight of 1,000 metres. Vekas Klong, hope I pronounced that right. There we go, my producer's nodding away there. The blinkers go on today. Now, this has got the Cape Town form. First 2 runs were very good, and then 3rd run out, they put it over a bit of ground over the 1,400, and I thought it was a decent effort. It actually stayed on well, but they brought it back to the 1,000 today. Blinkers go on, and it does come off a break of 100 days. But watch out. Comment from the stable was, it's certainly no champion, but in this sort of field should be very competitive. Now, another Cape Town horse, well, Cape Town form, now racing for the Tara Lang stable. Raymond Danielson jumps aboard. Now, this is drawn down the inside in barrier 2. Got some decent Cape Town form. 2 winners out of that last form line. It was well beaten, but showed plenty of speed, but that was over a lot further. Now, watch out for this horse, coming off a long break, and it could sprint well fresh. Number 3, Seattle Light, drawn in barrier 5. Now, here's a comment from the Grant Paddock stable. Definitely a plate chance here. Showed plenty of speed 2 starts ago. Raced up there and only got caught late going down 3 lengths. So watch out for a bold showing there. Off the Bit is having its first run today, number 10 from the Alan Creer stable and Andrew Fortune, priced up at 9-2. Now it gets a decent draw in barrier 9. Now we haven't really got a comment from Alan about this one, but a nicely bred individual. Race 4 on the card is up the straight of 1,000 metres. Plenty of sprint races today, and this is another maiden plate for the fillies and the mares. And I'm going with number 10, Sweet Bolly Malone from the Alan Creer stable. Gee, I've tipped him a lot today. Certainly it looks like he's got a very good card. And so does Andrew Fortune, who jumps aboard. Having its first start today, the stable's comment from Alan Creer has definitely got a winning chance here. Now, it's currently priced up around 7-2, 4-1. Try and get a little bit of that early. All right, I've thrown in the 6 as well, which is your favourite at the moment at 15-10. It's had 6 starts under the belt from the Snaith Racing stable. We've always got to respect those Cape Town forms, only finishing just in behind them, and certainly deserves that favourite tag. Number 2, Main Attraction. This one's from the Dorrie Sham stable and Carl Zechner. 11-2 is the price, drawn in barrier 1. Should earn a check. There we go. It's very consistent. Dorrie Sham stable in good form, as she always is. Have a look at this form. It's always there, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Always pretty consistent and shouldn't be too far off them. Also, the one from the Yvette Bremner stable with Lyle Ewitson. I keep singing this kid's praises, but goodness me, he's had 40 winners since January when he got out of school. He really is doing a fantastic job and got some big rides tomorrow also on the big day down in KZN. Well, this one's been pretty consistent, hasn't been finishing too far behind them since relocating from Cape Town. Yeah, race 5 on the card looks a tricky one here. It's a merit-rated 60 handicap. Low-rated race up the straight of 1,000 metres. And I've gone here with number 12, Special Effects, at a bit of each-way price. It's drawn where I like him up the straight, out wide in barrier 14. And also gets a claim off the back now and brings it in with a nice light galloping weight in a very open-looking race with only 53 kilos. I think it's an each-way chance. Runs well over the course and distance, and they've put the blinkers on today. Now, a lot of people have stopped me in the corridor. They said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to do the recording. They said, don't forget to mention number 2 here. I said, well, it's drawn in the middle of the track in barrier 8, got up to win a nice race last time, but its best runs, there's only had 3 runs and moving up from Johannesburg. But best runs seem to have been on the poly track. Tries the turf today. Let's see how it goes. A lot of people are telling me, watch out, can go pretty close. Also thrown in 15 here, Coral Key, Muzieni, priced up at 5-1. Nice draw on the outside, and it's going to be 2 kilos better off to Antagonist. What was that for only just a head beating? 2.5 kilos better off. Got to come into the mix there. And Muzieni, he's a bit of a sneaker. Certainly number 1, just too early. This one's dropping way down in class now. Been running in 72s and 70, now drops down to a 60 rated handicap. Gets a decent draw. And this could be a bit of value for you at 9-1, certainly to pop into those trifectas. Here's a nice race on the card. There's a bit of black type available for the fillies here. It's over the 1,000 metres. A Milkwood Stakes, a listed event. They'll all come up from Cape Town, and they don't bring them up to get a haircut, that's for sure. Well, have a look at the trainer haircut. You'll know that he wouldn't give his horse a haircut. Number 2, Joe's Bond. Looks the right one to me here. He brought it up last time to run in the ladies' pendant and ran an absolute cracker there over the 1,200 metres. Didn't finish far behind, and they've brought it back again to try and get the black type, and could be the value here at 6-1 each way. Number 3, Clear Sailing. Now, they brought it up. Now, Mike Miller, I don't remember last time he went to Port Elizabeth to try and win a race. She's a well-related filly, comes from a very strong family. She's doing well in KZN, but we're never too sure how that form line works out. Anyway, he's pretty bullish, and he gives her a decent chance here, drawn on the outside in barrier 11, currently priced up at 5-1. Number 4, Joe Malone, Craig Zaki, 10-1. Now this one's coming off a bit of a break of 90 days. Won a nice race in Johannesburg going back 2 starts ago, so you've certainly got to respect that, even though drawn down the inside in barrier 3. Now here's the South African record holder. Number 1, Blizzard Bell. She's got to carry a lot of weight here, 62.5. Now, I'd ignore that last run because she'd travelled up to Johannesburg and went back to Port Elizabeth in a pretty quick time. She's had 19 days in between runs now. Even with the big weight, I can't leave her out. Race 7 on the card is over the 1,400 metres. All right, we've got another maiden plate for the fillies and mares. And number 5, Velvet Orchid, Alan Creef and Andrew Fortune. I must tip them about 4 times today, but they put the blinkers on today. Watch out here. They're pretty confident they're going to get a decent run here. It's a good price, nice place bet, or a bit of each way value at 7-1. Are there dangers? Well, I certainly think there are. A number 1 Aspen Fire from the Glen Cotson stable. It's had 3 runs since moving up from Cape Town, and it's put up 3 decent gallops, been finishing just in behind them, and could go one better here today. Number 13, well, this is from the Dorrie Sham stable in Lightly Race. She's only had the 2 starts, and here's the comment from Dorrie. They've been trying to find a race for her over the 1,600 metres. Both races so far have been over the 14, put up good gallops, run second on both occasions, and I tell you what, if she can get away on reasonable terms, but she is drawn out wide in 11, could give them a run for their money. All right, need another one? We'll certainly throw in the Cornet Spist horse here, which is number 4, Story Fields. Craig Zaki at 8-1. Now, this one gets a decent draw in barrier 3, and has only had the 2 runs. They've both been on the poly track. We'll have to see how she goes today on the turf. Yeah, it doesn't get any ease in the last race. It's a merit-rated 64 handicap. All right, this one's over the 1,400 metres. Now, this is where I've gone for a horse drawn out in the bush. It's drawn in 16, which is not what you want, because over the 1,400 you hit the top turn. It's just got that Cape Town form, and when you look through it, it should be too strong here. Beautifully bred individual. He's now a 7-year-old, but his form really should be strong enough to win a race like this. But if he gets caught 3 wide, well, you never know. But at least he's a bit of each way value at 6-1, or a bit of a place bet for you. All right, if he gets caught out wide and 3 wide and things go pear-shaped, well, number 9, Temple Rock, I think will be there to pick up the pieces. But look what that's drawn. Out in barrier 15 as well. Another one with pretty strong form. It's had 3 runs since moving up from KZN, and he's certainly doing pretty well at the moment. All right, if you're looking for another one, number 6 comes into the reckoning, Sun Power, who got up to win a very nice race last time. Look, it was in a Work Riders, which normally not the strongest of races. Gets a top jockey, JP van der Merwe, who rode him 2 starts ago. This is not a strong field, and I could see this one running in the first 3. All right, I popped in number 15 as well from the Duncan Mackenzie stable, but another one, drawn out in the bush with 12, but this has got plenty of early gate speed. If you look at that run 2 starts ago, bounced out from a widey straw, went to the front, they only caught it late, so I think they'll try the same tactics today. Certainly very, very competitive racing. A lot of it up the straight today, where we've got that nice feature race for the fillies today. We're going to be putting up all our selections at our Twitter account at Racing in Tips. From myself, Rod McCurdy, and all the team, we wish you a very successful punting weekend.